morning and welcome everyone to A Cuppa with Extra Care. Unfortunately, Chris Peach can't be with us today. So you've got myself, Tracy Jones, Head of Operational Development, and Jamie Linden Lewis, one of our heads of Extra Care. So what have we got in store for you today? We've got an update from the Resident Forum. We've got some information around your safety and security, a look at our resident survey and care survey results, an update on service charges, and then some brief information from our communications team about how you'd like to receive communication going forwards. So I'll start us off with Ian's resident forum update. Ian is our chair of the Extra Care Forum. So you've probably seen this slide before. This is our Extra Care strategy, our three key strategic principles: performance, resident satisfaction, and quality compliance, underpinned, of course, by the two important enablers: investing in our people and providing quality systems. And this is what Ian and the Extra Care Forum have also been working towards in terms of strategic aims. So let's have a quick look at some of the achievements from last year. So Ian and the team have co-produced more than 9 policy documents and surveys with us, with Housing 21. For example, unacceptable behaviour, resident surveys, been involved with the care surveys and our people and property visits and how they work. They've also helped us to guide on the implementation of GDPR, service charges, and many more important subjects, including a detailed appraisal and assessment of the board member framework. They've worked with us on our new consumer standards, resident communication and effectiveness, and they're also helping us to look at manager workloads at the moment. They have many ongoing projects, currently including being part of the digital inclusivity, the service charge project, and the new resident website. Ian represents the group at Extra Care Board Committee, has monthly meetings with Chris, our Managing Director of Extra Care, and often attends our senior leadership team meetings. And this allows the forum really to input and support Housing 21. Ian is aware that they've got some challenges going forwards. He says that including needing to grow and widen connections with more residents across Housing 21, he's aware that the range of subjects and the time required, as you can see from the screen here, that it's a pretty busy agenda for the Extra Care Forum at the moment, and communications still hold a huge part of what they do. Which takes us nicely onto the resident voice journey that Ian has kindly put together. This is really important, and it focuses on 6 key areas, which include local scheme feedback, centralised feedback, research, board and committee input, actions, which includes the projects and initiatives, and then finally, feedback to residents. And then we forward into 2025. So lots on the horizon for the Extra Care Forum. If you are interested in joining, Ian is interested in more people coming on board for this. So please contact Ian directly. His email address is on the screen there. It is on the slides if you are watching back. But do please get in touch with Ian, and we'll be able to get you as part of that Extra Care Residents Forum and start to hear your voice as well. So I'm going to hand over now to Jamie to take you through the next slide.
Good morning, everybody. So we've always known that one of the most important factors for people choosing to live in Extra Care is for the additional security it provides to people. And certainly we hear a lot on our visits around the importance of feeling safe in your own home. Unfortunately, we had a security incident in one of our schemes recently, and although Housing 21 had all the right things in place, it makes sense for us to take a step back and consider how we strengthen our security in our schemes if needed. So we are kicking off a review of CCTV We do have CCTV in all of our schemes, but we're considering are there other areas of the buildings where we should put more CCTV. And we're also looking at our security doors. So making sure that we have enough security doors between the front entrance and people's properties. And we're also considering our policies around the additional fobs for inner entrance doors and making sure that the people that need the additional fobs have them, but also that we're sensible around the numbers we're providing. Our main aim is always to keep everyone feeling nice and safe when living in one of our schemes. And lastly, you'll see on there that we're picking up the review of resident entrances and how the building is compartmentalised between communal areas and access into our areas where we have our flats. In most cases, we do have enough of those, but we have picked up when we've done our review that there are schemes that could do with some more. So that's very much on our radar, and these things are really unfortunate, but we always want to learn from them and make sure we strengthen what we do when these things occur.
Thanks, Jamie. And I'm sure we will get some of that back in our resident survey results as well. People often talk about safety and security of their buildings and repairs, etc. So the scheme results are in at the moment. We have had all of the results back. They will be published on our website. We're currently, as you probably know, we took over the Midland Heart acquisition in September of 2024. And as part of the regulator standards, we have sent the surveys out to those services. So we're just waiting for those to come in before we can announce our national results. But we are able to say that we're hoping that will be early March. We'll be able to get those national results advertised, get those scheme results also onto our website. And then following that, managers are currently co-producing plans to look at improvements and resolve any of those comments and concerns that have come through on those surveys with residents across all of our extra care schemes. And hopefully by the 27th of February, we should start to have those individual plans formulated. And then the heads of operations will review themes and trends and start to produce an overall extra care response, along with some strategic plans to make further improvements on the feedback that you've given us and sent through.
So in addition to the TSMs, for those schemes where we are the care provider, we also ran our national care survey. So this time was quite different because we combined the two, and the initial feedback is that seems to have gone quite well, which is pleasing. In front of you, you can see the results overall for extra care. 95% of our residents are satisfied with the care that they receive. That's brilliant news for us. People's care is really important, and to hear that 95% are satisfied is a real testament to the teams working in our schemes. In front of you, you'll see a breakdown of some of the key questions. I touched on people feeling safe, and you'll see for this survey, 98% of our residents said they feel safe. That's brilliant, but we know there's always more we can do, and we're never complacent. So, like the TSMs, the local managers will go through the same process, exploring the individual scheme results with people who receive our care and looking to take steps over the course of the next year to try and improve on that. But in terms of the TSMs and in terms of the care survey, we had a brilliant response. So big thank you to all of you who took part and sent in a survey. And just we want to reassure you that we really do take the results seriously, and it will help us to make improvements going forward.
Thanks, Jamie. So moving on to quick update on service charges. We know this is a really important subject for our residents across extra care. So feedback from the service charge meetings that we held between October and December. We had some great feedback and some recommendations. So just a couple of the main points that come out as part of that feedback was that residents really liked the new guidance and the consistent approach, and that was co-produced with the Extra Care Residents Forum. So great to hear that we're starting to be able to get the communication out there that people really want to see. They felt the information was good and delivered well. They felt there could be a little bit more information provided within those documentations that we send out. And residents did feel that the literature could be a little bit more resident centric. So next steps on that, Tom Long, who is one of our resident forum members, has created a subgroup to focus on service charges in particular. That will link into our main Housing 21 project group that works on service charge documentation, literature, and the way we deliver those in the future. We'll go looking at reviewing the resident feedback actions and responses, and hopefully to work on a bit of a systematic approach for feedback as we go into the later part of this year for service charges. And then a bigger focus on that resident-centric language throughout the service charge documentation, which I know that Tom is really keen to look at. We've got that on the agenda for the next subgroup. Just a little bit there of some figures. So we are always conscious around affordability with our service charges and value for money. We set 145 budgets this year across extra care. 126 of those service charge budgets did reduce, 95 of which by more than £20 a week. So we've really started to draw that in now. And only 19 service charges increased overall.
Thanks, Tracy. So as Tracy touched on earlier, we are really keen to make sure that when you receive information from Housing 21, it works for you and it gives you the things that you need. And our colleagues in our communication team are conducting a survey to get the feedback from as many residents as possible about the various ways in which we communicate. And by us having that information, the communications team and us can take a view of what works really, really well. And there might be some things that we should stop because it's not useful for people. So it's just a plea, really. Please do take part in this survey. And if you need more information, please contact your local manager. He'll be happy to help provide additional information. But as I said, it's really important that the information we're providing to people works for you and is in a format that's right. So I think we are now ready for some questions. So we will do our best to answer those for you. So let me check. So I think we've had a question about care services. So one of the questions that's come through is whether Housing 21 are intending to exit from all care in our schemes. The answer to that is no. We have had schemes where over a prolonged period of time the finances and have been struggling and we've perhaps not had the good relationship with the local authority that we would want, and therefore we have to sometimes take the difficult decisions to walk away from some of our care services. But I can't stress enough, we know in our integrated schemes that the offer of care and housing from the same provider is really, really important. And if anything, we'd like to do care in all our buildings, but that's very much given by the local authority. So please be reassured that's not the case. But there are one-off examples where that needs to happen, and they're few and far in between. So I think if that's everything, it's always lovely to do these sessions. As always, please don't hesitate to send questions in to the email address on the screen, and we always do our best to answer as many of them as possible for you. But thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.